A 19-year-old missing in Orlando.
YouTube blocks all anti-vaxxer ads.
Goats running amok in Atlanta.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Gabby Carden.
And I'm Jack Springer. A man whom investigators believe had illegally entered the apartment of a now missing Orlando woman was found dead. The Orange County Sheriff says they found his body Monday afternoon. CNN's reporter has more on the story.
Orange County deputies split into groups on day 3 of the search for Mia Marcano. Some of them combed through trees and bushes about half a mile from Arden Villa's apartments. Others were behind this Ruby Tuesday off University Boulevard. We even spotted a group looking in dumpsters.
Mia, this message is for you. I know you're alive. I know you're out there. We love you.
Days have felt like weeks for Marcano's family as they continue to plead for the community's help. Most of them traveled to Orlando from South Florida.
The longer we stay, the more difficult it's going to be to get Mia.
Authorities have said the person of interest in this case, 27-year-old Armando Caballero, was found dead at a Seminole County apartment complex on Monday. It's also where his car was found. Police believe he committed suicide. They said he was a maintenance worker at the Arden Villas apartments near UCF, which is where Mia also works and lives. The sheriff says it appears Caballero expressed a romantic interest in Marcano and said she rejected him a number of times.
We now know that a maintenance-issued master key fob, which Caballero was known to be in possession of, was used to enter Mia's apartment Friday afternoon at about 4:30. This would have been about 30 minutes before she finished her shift.
The big question now, where is Mia Marcano?
We're leaving here with Mia alive.
Mia is alive and she's suffering. I want my granddaughter home.
This family believes in God. We believe in hope and we have faith. As soon as you're ready, Mia, come. Give us the sign and we're right there. You know it.
Investigators are currently reviewing video from the apartment complex.
A 17-year-old father is behind bars today after investigations led to him being responsible for the death of his 3-week-old. Caleb Blake Brown is suspected of tossing his child multiple times into the air, eventually hitting a ceiling fan. Brown and the child's mother took the baby to the ER, where they were transported to Children's Medical Center in Dallas, where the baby was pronounced dead. It is suspected that Brown was angry, the baby's mother had custody, and that he had to pay child support. The murder occurred August 9th. Brown was arrested yesterday and is currently being held in Denton County Jail. Now from Kansas, a student had a problematic way of asking someone to homecoming, and people are outraged. Here is KMBC's Jackson Kurtz with more.
I was outraged. Wow, this is 2021 and we still have to correct people about this.
Many in the Olathe community are wanting answers after an Olathe South student's homecoming sign read, "If I was black, I would be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you for homecoming."
I am the mom of 2 black young men that every day I'm praying for their safety. I'm looking at the larger impact that it is having.
The Olathe South school principal sending out a statement to Olathe South families that says the school is investigating the photo and that the type of behavior displayed in the social media posts does not meet the expectations of our core values. But for lots of people, the photo remains hurtful.
It's personally offensive to me. My grandmother, she grew up having to pick cotton. She's still alive today, so that even was offensive to her.
Going forward, many hope more is done for people to understand why this kind of language is offensive.
Those of you who really want to know and understand the reason why these things are offensive and the severity of it, it's time to sit down and talk. This is a learning opportunity for all of us to train and teach in the things what we want to represent as humans in mankind, love and respect for one another.
This happened a few days after some students in Missouri created an online petition to bring back slavery. We'll keep you updated.
Back here in Texas, the weather's finally cooling off.
It's nice in the mornings. It's still a little too hot for my liking in the middle of the day. But Sydney, what are we looking at for the rest of today?
Thank you, Jack and Gabby. Now we're going to take a first look for our weather in Denton. Currently, it is 80 degrees. It does feel a little bit warmer at 83 degrees, and later today, there is expected rain. Looking into tonight's conditions, it will be 84 degrees and there will be wind speeds of 9 miles per hour. Now looking into tomorrow's conditions, it will be a little bit chillier at 79 degrees, but it will feel warmer at 83 degrees with wind speeds of 8 miles per hour. Make sure to tune back in later for our 7-day forecast. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. A small town in Kentucky is about to get a lot larger. Ford has announced plans to build a new Ford production plant that is expected to bring in 5,000 new jobs to the town of Glendale. Tori Gessner, Wave 3 News, has the story.
In small Glendale, Kentucky.
Glendale is just like that small town Hallmark movie feel.
There's always been talks of a big development coming to the area.
We knew about this when I first bought the restaurant 17 years ago. There was talk of a major manufacturer coming in.
Now it's official. Ford is making its largest investment in years, spending $5.8 billion to build an electric battery manufacturing complex in Glendale. It'll bring 5,000 jobs, a number triple that of Glendale's population.
There's going to be an influx of people, we know that, but that's part of life.
The influx of people using the roads, going to the schools, and visiting businesses. People who live here say the town has been preparing its infrastructure for a while. The Lincoln Trail Home Builders Association says its builders are ready for the challenge.
We've had some significant projects over the last few years in the Hardin County community and in surrounding counties. And so we're already looking at ways, I think, that builders are adapting to some of the demand that's created. But certainly not on, the record-breaking scale like they're describing this investment.
The largest economic investment the state has ever seen, coming to small Glendale. Locals expect the only changes that do come will be for the better.
Everything that people love about Glendale is still going to be here. And so the Ford plant is just going to enhance all of those things.
From Dallas, the American Airlines Union is requesting an exemption to the president's potential vaccine mandate. American Airlines, among other airlines, fear that the mandate may lead to staffing shortage. The president of the Allied Pilots Association, Captain Eric Ferguson, sent a letter to Congress members and the White House. Ferguson explained that there are various reasons pilots may not want to get the vaccine. Although cases of severe side effects are rare, pilots fear they may be unable to fly if they do experience side effects. As the airline industry's busiest season comes closer, Ferguson expressed that airlines and travelers cannot afford to lose pilots. He also suggested that pilots get tested weekly or prove natural immunity as opposed to the mandate.
When we return, a youthful act of kindness for our frontline workers.
And YouTube begins to crack down on vaccine misinformation. That story later in the broadcast.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
As tension rises, North Korea claims it has tested a new hypersonic missile capable of traveling faster than the speed of sound. This is their third missile test of the month. CNN's Brian Todd reports.
North Korea's aggressive young dictator is back to tweaking, agitating, clamoring for the West's attention, and getting it. North Korea's news agency claims Kim Jong-un's military has test-fired a hypersonic missile which can travel several times faster than the speed of sound and has a warhead that detaches and glides. That was just minutes before North Korea's envoy to the UN spoke to the General Assembly, accusing the U.S. of, quote, antagonizing Pyongyang, blasting the U.S.-South Korean military alliance, and making an implied threat of his own.
We have been very much accustomed to the U.S. military threat, and we know well how to deal with the U.S., the most hostile country.
After a period of relative calm, military tensions on the Korean peninsula have recently been boiling. This is North Korea's third missile test this month, following another ballistic missile test in mid-September and tests of long-range cruise missiles before that. South Korea tested a submarine-launched ballistic missile on September 16th and is deploying a 3,000-ton sub capable of firing it.
On the peninsula, it's clear there's arms racing dynamics going on. North Korea is signaling that its missile arsenal is moving to sea, so South Korea is doing the same. That means that both countries will, in a crisis, be looking in many different directions. That increases the risk of miscalculation.
North Korea's state media has said the new missile is one of the country's top 5 strategic priorities. We'll keep you updated with any developments. Thousands of Haitian migrants who have been striving to make it to the United States have had to cross several countries in the South and Central America. So far, Honduras has registered about 11,000 migrants, with 10% of them being minors. The head of Honduras' Directorate of Children, Adolescents, and Family say many of the foreign migrants are Haitians, which make up 48%. The rest are from Nicaragua, Venezuela, Brazil, and Afghanistan.
We have officially transitioned from summer to fall.
Hopefully, the summer heat gets the message.
What's the outlook for this week, Sydney?
Thank you, Gabby and Jack. Our current conditions across North Texas are ranging from the high 70s and the low 80s, with McKinney and Fort Worth being the warmest point at 81 degrees. Now looking into the current conditions across the state, again, we are seeing similar temperatures. The warmest points will be in Houston at 80 degrees and Denton at 80 degrees as well. Now looking at our 7-day forecast, Wednesday through Sunday, we are expected to see thunderstorms in the evening. On Monday and Tuesday, we will have clear and sunny skies. As the week goes on, temperatures will decrease, with the lowest temperature being 56. That is it for our 7-day forecast. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Sydney. As we approach 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, our healthcare workers continue addressing needs on the front lines. An 8-year-old out of Plano wants them to know they aren't forgotten. Mimi Sele once went beyond to provide meals to healthcare workers. She raised $2,300 from her lemonade stand for close to 1,000 meals from Bella Italia, restaurant for nurses, doctors, and staff. Mimi not only fed them, but provided reassurance that they're appreciated with sweet handwritten notes. A 6-year-old little boy has taken the mask mandate very seriously. When his mom told 6-year-old Mason Peoples he should only take his mask off to eat, he thought that meant while taking his yearbook photo too. During the photos, the photographer asked Mason to take his mask off, and he declined. The school photo of the first grader went viral after his mother attached it to a GoFundMe campaign, where she only wanted to raise $7 to reward him. But now it has raised more than $24,000. Mason's mother says it will be used to help fund his college education.
New COVID stats are out. Total COVID cases in North Texas area are at 218,718. In Dallas County, we have 2,292, and in Denton, we have 432 new cases. Between students and faculty here at UNT, there are a total of 84 cases with a direct on-campus impact, which is lower from the peak of cases we had in the beginning of September.
And an email sent out yesterday afternoon, UNT President Neil Smatresk updated students and faculty on the mandatory COVID testing. He added, faculty reached 90% participation and students were close behind at 80%, with vaccination rates for both groups above state levels. Next week begins the second interval of testing, with an addition of some random testing that will occur every 2 weeks. President Smatras continues to urge faculty and students not to quit the fight against COVID as the semester continues. The United States plans on opening its doors for vaccinated international travelers in November, but millions of vaccinated individuals will have to wait a little bit longer. Those who have received Russia's Sputnik V vaccine will not be able to enter the States. The new travel law requires all non-citizens to have taken a vaccine approved by the FDA or WHO. The World Health Organization's review of Sputnik V was put on hold over concerns with its manufacturing process. Russia is pushing for worldwide recognition of Sputnik V, but in the meantime, those that have taken Russia's vaccine have to put their travel plans on hold.
In a hard crackdown, YouTube, the world's largest video sharing website, has issued a statement this morning stating that it will begin removing videos that spread misinformation about federally approved vaccines. In that statement, YouTube says that it will begin removing content that falsely says that approved vaccines cause autism, cancer, or infertility, or that substances in the vaccines can track those who receive them. The platform had originally instated the policy against misinformation around coronavirus, and the new policy is in response to spread of misinformation in vaccines.
When we return, TikTok reaches 1 billion users.
In Dallas, it's doing its part to protect our avian friends. Stay with us.
Oh, sorry. It was a good Monday night to be a Cowboys fan as Dallas destroyed the Eagles 41-21 in an important NFC East game. Dak yet again stole the show on offense by completing over 80% of his passes and 3 touchdowns. It is obviously too early to tell, but many think Dak will be a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year. The Dallas defense has been leading the NFL with 8 takeaways, the most in a 3-game stretch since 2007. Second-year corner Trayvon Diggs has been the shining star on this defense with 3 interceptions in just 3 games. One of those being a 59-yard pick six Monday night against his former teammates from Alabama, Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith. This is the first pick six of his career, but it looks like they're going to be a lot more common now. While sadly there has not been an official baseball team here at UNT since 1988, that doesn't mean that Mean Green fans can't experience baseball. This Friday, October 1st, is Mean Green Spirit Night at Globe Life Field. The Rangers take on the Cleveland Indians at 7:05, and the select sections will receive a UNT bucket hat with tickets discounted as low as $19. The Rangers hope to bounce back from losing 7 of the past 8 games against Cleveland, who have now lost 12 of their last 13. The game is the kickoff to the final series of the season. Focusing back in on our Mean Green athletes here in Denton, the UNT cross-country team has been setting some records. The first 8 UNT finishers at their meet on Saturday set personal records, including Caleb Bouchard, who was the runner-up in the 8K with a time of 23 minutes and 47 seconds, which is a crazy fast 4 minutes and 47 seconds a mile. The team quite literally beat Texas A&M at their own race as they managed a 1-point win in the Texas A&M Invitational. Their title is their second of the season as they continue their journey to hopefully the CUSA Championship. Their next stop this weekend is in Fayetteville, Arkansas for the annual Chili Pepper Festival. That's all I have for you. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, James. Now, Jack, did you know back in spring, Vortman's opened up a new part of their store?
Really? I haven't been there in a while.
Well, I had the honor of checking it out, and I want to share it with you guys. You can add goats to the list of animals running loose in cities lately. On Monday, a herd of goats were loose in Atlanta.
I suppose they wanted to enjoy the nice weather.
I guess. If you look at this video, you can see them having a great time basking in the sunlight and munching on bushes. Residents of the Buckhead neighborhood area called in to report seeing goats walking near a busy intersection. Police stated that they were brought to a grocery store nearby to eat weeds, then they somehow got loose from there.
Animal control has been called, and the goat's owner is trying to herd them back.
Well, it seems like they had a fun time. I'm just glad they got back home safe.
Definitely. Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon.
Join us again here tomorrow on North Texas Television. All right.